So, the question that pretty much every person that wants a new camera asks is, what is the best camera for me? And today, we're gonna answer just that question. We're gonna be going over a few cameras in the budget range from about $600 to about $1,000, depending on if you can catch it on sale or not. Before we get started though, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the bell to get notified when we post. And also, don't forget to like and comment as it helps the channel grow, and we love interacting with you guys. It's so awesome, because you know, you guys are awesome. We're awesome. Awesome people coming together, always fun. And also, if you're subscribed, you know what that means? You'll be one of the first people to see Best Served Cold when it comes out on February 11th or 18th. Dates are kind of moving around, but it's one of those two dates. So stay tuned. And you know, you guys are gonna love it. And by the way, speaking of Best Served Cold, stay tuned to the end for a preview of the film. You guys are not ready for this. So, let's get started. The first camera we're gonna cover on this list is the Panasonic G85 at about $697, give or take deals that are going on any given day. Also, we're not sponsored by them, but using Honey is a good way to track down deals for cameras like this. So use Honey, not sponsored. Sponsor us. The G85 has pretty solid stabilization, especially when you consider it is a camera under $1,000. And then the autofocus, it leaves a little bit to be desired, but it, for the most part, I think can get the job done. But we're also talking cameras under $1,000, so let's rein in what we want. Although, that's not to say it's a bad camera, because it's good. Just the autofocus, kind of bad. Anyway, then it is really good for video, as it has really solid 4K video that pretty much won't kill your computer unless you have like a really bad computer. So if you want to do 4K video, this is definitely a good option, unlike the Canon M50, which has super cropped, super bad 4K video. So that is a searing scathing of the Canon M50. Do not buy it. You usually can find this camera with really decent kit lenses, especially at that price point. So who knows? If you find the right deal on the right day, you can get it with either 1 or 2 lenses for no more than about $800, which is pretty cool. Last but certainly not least, if you are considering this camera or the G7, I'd actually say get this camera instead, as it is better and updated. And unlike the G7, this camera actually has image stabilization, which is pretty handy if you're doing handheld video, and the G7 doesn't have it. The G85, even though it's older, is newer than the G7, so it would be a better buy. Next up, we have the Sony ZV-E10. What a stupid name. It is a definitely more vlogger-centric camera, which if you're into video, I mean, this might be the camera for you under $1,000, especially if you're doing something simple like what we're doing, or you know, your handheld standard vlogger stuff. I'm sure there's gonna be a video example. Will there be? Find out what I do in post. So it's got class-leading autofocus, and honestly, in this kind of budget range, it's a little untouchable. So if you're looking for really good autofocus, this probably is the camera for you. And then photo-wise, it's nothing special, but I mean, it gets the job done, which all these cameras on this list get the job done. And oh, by the way, the ZV-E10 is kind of interchangeable with the Sony a6100 and the a6400, given whatever price you can find them at. I would say, depending on if you're more video centric, the a6400 might be the better pick. But if you do not need picture profiles and log, which log in 8-bit anyway isn't good, so don't buy the Sony a6400 if you're really trying to work with log. The ZV-E10, still a stupid name, is a good pick. The a6100 is if you truly are desperate and have no other options. It's okay. Desperate. No options. And by the way, product showcase on the ZV-E10 is a fun gimmick, but it works. So you can just very easily go, whoop. Did it focus?
I see the frame really well.
Yeah. I mean, we're like F8 right now, so everything's in focus, who cares? So, you might be wondering, why on earth are we in a parking lot? Well, we're filming some stuff for commercials. That's right, commercials. But they're playing music on the inside, so I do not want to get hit with the copyright strike. Anyway, let's get back to the video at hand. So I've got some honorable mentions here. First up, if you're okay with buying used equipment, the Olympus EM1-MKII also a not great name, that is a really good camera to buy. The only problem with it is that it has no 10-bit video. I mean, none of these cameras on this list, except for the last one on this list, have 10-bit video, but it kind of sucks not to have it. Although for the average starter, it might not matter. Anyway, then it has reasonably competent photo capabilities for a camera under $1,000. It has really surprisingly good stabilization. Go watch Camera Conspiracy. He goes on and on and on about how this camera actually has like really good stabilization. It has phase detect autofocus, which it actually allows for really good video autofocus, unlike this camera sometimes, which does struggle. Thanks, Fuji. But the Olympus EM1-MKII, stupid name, will keep you in focus most of the time, provided you're not using Panasonic lenses with it. Then you might run into trouble. It's better than your phone. Speaking of your phone is also a really good option, surprisingly. But it's not just about using just the phone. You actually have to get some extra stuff to make using your phone for expanded video and photo work better. For example, if you're serious about video, first off, watch the video we did like a year ago about doing video on your phone, because all you really need to do is put on LumaFusion, then, not LumaFusion, well yes LumaFusion for editing after the fact, but the Filmic Pro app for getting like really solid, crispy video out of your phone and actually having manual control of your phone. I'll insert some clippy poos over this so you can see that, wow, my phone actually can give me really good footage, which is good. And then, if you're not serious about video and you're more serious about photo, oh God, the sun! It's not so bad. That's bad. Okay, it's not so bad. We're going back. If you're more serious about photo, downloading the Moment app for photos would also be good too, because then you have more manual control of your phone, which seems like these days phones are giving more manual control over it, but you have the ultimate control over your phone. So yeah. And then, last but not least, the best camera under $1,000, in this guy's humble opinion, is the Panasonic G9, which can be had for about $1,000, give or take, depending on, like I said, what sale you catch it for. But if you can cop it for the right price, which would be about $997 USD, then you are in for a treat. This camera has 10-bit video, which, what does that even mean? More dynamic range, which is awesome, which is really good, because then you have more colors to work around with in post and whatnot. The files won't kill your computer, which is really good. And it has pretty good stabilization, although it can be a little iffy sometimes. You just gotta know how to finagle it, as with most things. Although, it is a Panasonic camera, so you know what that means. Kind of funky autofocus, but hey, it'll get the job done for the most part. Especially if you use the like tap to focus hack, which it's doable, it's certainly doable. Then you would be good to go. You will notice a lack of DSLRs on this list, and that's because essentially that system, well, when it comes to DSLRs, they're all pretty much the same under $1,000, give or take some megapixels and some niche gimmicky features. And also, the system kind of dead. So, and you'll also notice a lack of Canon mirrorless, also a dead system, as they have not had a new lens release for that system in like ever. So these are the best cameras that you will probably find under $1,000, unless of course you're a major deal hunter, then who knows, you might find something better. That's gonna do it for us today, but before you go, here's a preview of the upcoming film Best Served Cold, which you guys voted for us to make, so please enjoy.
You're telling me that you murdered my husband and you can't even remember who he is?
Tough as it may seem, no, I don't remember him.
You son of a bitch!
You're not gonna kill me.
And what makes you so sure?
You and I both know it wouldn't be enough. Come on, you shoot me right now and you'll never have the answer. Why did I do it? You'll sit and you'll think about it, you'll ponder it, and you'll never know. So no, you're not gonna kill me.
Anyway, that's right. The return of Thomas motherfucking LaGrange. Let's go!